Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Street Fighter Duel again. And as you see, Pika obtaining Summer Poison from the Divination, which was funny actually because I went and I summoned for her just to get one copy at least so I can use it in the thumbnail actually after I unlock her animation. And I replaced him here and I used her and I got a double actually. So if you go to the mall, to the growth pack, I think, yes, I claimed another 10, which is the one that I used to get her, and I got a double from her, which is absolutely fantastic. It was lucky, and I'm happy with that. So, the thing that I want to talk about is we have Banquet Guile actually in the game. He is in the game, so here he is, and he's legendary, just like Hazing expected. And yeah, that was actually good. The thing about it, he's a trigger character with all of his skills. So you can use his super, his C1 triggers when you use the C1 on a different character, and his C3 triggers when you use the C3. He's a carry damage dealer which have high damage and big utility. We'll be talking about that just now. So first of all, let's talk about his passive and understand what he does. So when any friendly fighter has unleashed a combo or super combo or trigger skill, gain one Gallant Saber. And this Gallant Saber, we'll be talking about it because it's here. Whenever this fighter gains Gallant Saber, their trigger skill damage will be increased by 4% until the end of the battle and stacks up to 80%. 80% is great actually, 80% is huge. He actually multiplies his damage by big numbers. So there's a 30% chance to gain Gallant Saber, blah 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 blah, goes to 50% chance to gain Gallant Saber when any enemy fighter unleashes a combo or super combo or trigger skill, which is really good. When an enemy is hitting you, you gain a trigger, you gain Gallant Saber. And of course, if you increase the onslaught, the Saber onslaught to level 3, which is used by Guile and by Trendy Guile, and put it on him, he will gain even more chances, which goes to 55%. Now his super, it deals massive amount of damage also. So charge up and unleash a cross chop that explodes upon hitting an enemy for the first time, dealing damage that is equal to 375% of attack to enemies in an area. After unleashing this skill, gains one Gallant Saber, which is the most important thing for him. Increase damage to 431 of attack. After unleashing this skill, gain 2 Gallant Sabers, so he gains 2, not 1, and this is 100%. When you unleash a trigger with or a C1, he will trigger his C1. Deal damage that is equal to 133% of attack to the nearest enemy, then performs a somersault kick that deals damage that is equal to 271% of attack to the same target if the target's HP is more than 70% of this fighter's max HP, of his max HP. Increase this skill damage bonus by 40%, which is huge actually. This one is one of the biggest damages that he does as well. So increase the damage to 153%, then to 312. And if this target's HP is more than 70% of this fighter's max HP, increase this skill damage bonus by 60%. 60% is massive. And what do we know about this? This is great for bossing, because the bossing have a HP bar pool that will never deplete, and you will always be above 70%. So he will be dealing so much damage actually, and his damage will be always amplified by 60%, which is great. Now his C3, after you do your C3 with your normal lineup, then you will trigger this one. Consider the trigger skill, blah blah blah, manually. Upon reaching 5 Gallant Saber, expend all stacks of Gallant Saber to unleash this skill one time automatically. Trigger interval is 8% or 8 seconds, and we're gonna be talking about his cars soon. Throw glasses containing special cocktails and punch them to shatter them, creating a deadly purple flame that deals damage that is equal to 461% of attack to enemies in an area. For every active stack of Gallant Saber, gain 6% attack for the duration of this skill. So he might not lose all of the stacks, he might keep the stacks. We'll be talking about that soon. So increase the damage to 550% of attack. For every active stack of a Gallant Saber, gain attack equal to 8% for the duration of this skill. His fighting spirit, and of course he gets attack bonus, crit rate, damage bonus as well, and his HP is good. So when Deadly Cocktail hits a target, it has a 50% base chance of inflicting one weaken. The same thing that Mad Ryu does, or Rose, or Jury, or Bison does, which is weaken, which makes them take even more damage. So, assisted skill. When the assisted fighter unleashes a trigger skill, the attack of a random friendly fighter will be increased by 12% for 10 seconds, which is great. You can use them on a trigger character or any character that does trigger damage, and it will increase a random character on your lineup, an allied character, damage or their attack by 12% for 10 seconds, which is good actually. Not that super high, but it's really good actually to have it on the lineup just as backup. So his plus 10. Whenever this fighter gains Gallant Saber, their lifesteal rate will be increased by 0.5% until their battle ends and stacks up to 10%, which is good to give him lifesteal. Plus 20. When Deadly Cocktail hits the target, it has 50% base chance of inflicting 1 weaken and 1 grave injury. The grave injury that is the biggest type of bleed, I think, in this game. The chance is counted separately for each effect, so it doesn't inflict either weaken or either grave injury. You have a 50% to inflict weaken, a 50% to inflict grave injury, and you can have them at the same time. This is what it means. Plus 30. When Deadly Cocktail hits the target, it inflicts a lasting damage effect that deals damage equal to 24% of attack every second for 20 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. You can stack it 3 times until the end of the battle. You can keep stacking it, and it will deal 24% damage of his attack per second for 20 seconds, which is absolutely phenomenal. It means damage over time, just like what Fire Adon do with his carpet, just like the bleed effects. It's the same thing. It does. You can count it as another type of bleed or burn or poison from him, which is great. His cards at plus 3. Cross Chop places a mark on the enemies. If Deadly Cocktail hits the target with a mark, which is this mark, it deals additional damage that is equal to 280 or almost 300% of attack and remove the mark after the damage. And on 6 out of 6, if Deadly Cocktail hits a target with a mark, it deals additional damage that is equal to 350% of attack, and it no longer removes the mark, so it will always consistently deal the extra damage, which makes him great. Now, this character does not have damage reduction, does not bypass his immunity, but he's a great damage dealer for bossing. So far, he's doing great. If we're gonna go and check his bio, you can go and click the trial and try him on different teams and different lineups versus these bosses that they gave you, or these lineups that they gave you specific units to use them. So let's use a tank, a speedy unit, another speedy unit, and check how much. So I can go with super, C1, C2, and we need a C3. So we need somebody to use a C3. Any C3, stupid C3 that we don't want to, we're gonna use Fire Adon anyway. So C1, C2, then C3. So let's go and check it out, how it does. Let me do it at ×2 so we can fill our combo meter immediately. And here we go. How many sabers are we gonna get? The Gallant Sabers here, super, C1, C2, and the mark did get removed. And there's the C3 and the purple. Bam, here we go. Okay, we got stunned as well. But this is the damage. You see the damages? Blanca is the worst to do damage to. And here we go. Super, C1, C2, and then a C3. And then he goes and deals the damage. Who did the most damage? Is it Fire Adon? Is it him? Let me check. Okay, it's Banquet Guile. So if we're gonna go and check the stats, he did the most damage. Fire Adon barely did any type of damage because he got stunned the first time. The second time, he didn't even do the firewall, so still no damages was done, and there was a shield. So all the damages came from Banquet Guile, which dealt insane amount of damage. Let's go and check another lineup. So let's go and these. Okay, Viper. So she will hit the back line and he will be in the back line. So let's check. We're gonna use this tank for the C2. For a C3, we need a C3 user. Any C3 user, you're a tank that uses C3. And we can use you for backup. Okay, as heals. So let's go and check. Can we play it? I mean, we're faster. He's fast, which is good. So we start super C1 with healings, C2 negation, and C3, which will give us a wall as well. And bam, he does his passive. Look at his passive. Oh my god, he just absolutely eliminated everybody. Can we one-shot both of them? Here we go, let's try. Boop. And heal. We didn't one-shot. Okay, and of course, he did one-shot actually. He did one-shot because we used a C1, he used his C1 again. His damage is absolutely phenomenal, as you see there. Really, really good kit, good solid unit. Now we need to test him, of course, on a normal account. We need to get him, we need to purchase him because he will be in the mall like every single character that you buy in the mall. Actually, where's the legendaries? They're not here anymore, but you can find them in the fighting mall. He'll have his category. Now, hopefully, which I'm dreaming, and it's copium, to have him as free to play. They're gonna give it to us, but this is absolutely not gonna happen. It never happened. It will never happen. It happened with Fashion Blanca, and they didn't do it again. So hopefully, I hope that when he gets released, I'm gonna get him into action, and I'm gonna do some more testing and make a video for it, so you can judge for yourself if you need to buy him or not. It's up to you. But he looks absolutely awesome for a trigger character. Is he better than Baddest Jury? Absolutely, 1,000,000% yes. Immediately from this type of testing, yes, he's better than her in every single way. And yeah, that was it for the video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fight, time to fight.